In July 2025, Christian Horner found himself at the center of a media storm not for Formula One success, but allegations that would shake his legacy. After 20 years as the boss of Red Bull Racing, he was suddenly dismissed, accused by a female colleague of inappropriate behavior, claims he has firmly denied. The story has dominated headlines, casting a shadow over the man who led Red Bull to an unprecedented 8 Drivers' World Championship titles. But to understand the full measure of Horner's journey, we must trace the path from his earliest days behind the wheel to the pinnacle of motorsport management, and the controversy that now threatens to redefine his career. Christian Horner was born on November 16, 1973, in Leamington Spa, England. He grew up in a comfortable middle-class home, the son of a solicitor and a school secretary. From childhood, speed filled his imagination. He collected racing posters, built model cars, and begged his parents for a go-kart. At 13, his wish was granted, and Horner never looked back. He raced karts across the UK, demonstrating a precocious talent that others, including his parents, recognized as rare. But while he was fast on the track, he knew early that his strengths lay elsewhere. His analytical mind and calm under pressure set him apart. Horner moved into single-seater racing in the early 1990s. He debuted in the British Formula Renault Championship in 1992, then made steady progress, winning the British Formula Renault title in 1993. In those years, glimpses of his future management style, discipline, strategic thinking, focus emerged clearly. In 1995, he raced in British Formula 3 alongside future F1 stars. While Horner never made it to a Formula One cockpit, his racing career capped in touring cars, he was far from discouraged. He recognized that the gauntlet of motorsport success was long, varied, and that his talents might serve the sport best in another lane. At age 23, Horner made a bold pivot. He founded the Arden International Racing Team, channeling his experience into nurturing young talent and managing a competitive operation. Arden quickly became a sought-after stepping stone for drivers, competing in Formula Renault and later in British F3 and GP2. Horner honed leadership skills, fundraising, recruitment, engineering oversight that laid the foundation for his future leap. In December 2004, Horner got a call that would change everything. Red Bull, the energy drink company that had acquired the Jaguar F1 team, invited him to helm the newly branded Red Bull Racing as team principal. The challenge was immense. The team was under-resourced, overshadowed by established champs like Ferrari and McLaren. But Horner, mind alive with strategic ambition, accepted. The early years were a mix of ambition and hardship. Red Bull Racing finished 7th in 2005 and 5th in 2006, facing reliability issues, budget limitations, and the learning curve of Ferrari-caliber rivals. But Horner's leadership style, trusting young drivers, pushing technical innovation, and promoting team cohesion, infused the team with purpose. In 2007, with the massively talented but unpredictable young Sebastian Vettel and seasoned David Coulthard as co-drivers, the team earned its first F1 win at the Chinese Grand Prix. It was Horner's first major victory, not as a racer, but as a principal. Over the next decade, Horner and Red Bull forged a dynasty. From 2010 to 2013, the team claimed 4 consecutive Constructors' Championships and guided Sebastian Vettel to the Drivers' Championship 4 years running. Horner built a culture of fearlessness. He invested in engineering genius like Adrian Newey, backed innovative strategies, and maintained an atmosphere that blended youthful energy with professionalism. He was praised for balancing Sebastian Vettel's talent with leadership that was supportive yet firm. When Sebastian left, Horner retooled with Max Verstappen, a prodigy straight out of karting with unmatched raw talent. He bet big. Red Bull Racing's investment paid off spectacularly as Verstappen clinched his first world championship in 2021, followed by 4 more victories in the next seasons, bringing Red Bull's tally to 8 titles under Horner's watch. Christian became one of the longest-serving and most successful team principals in F1 history. Horner's influence wasn't limited to racing success. He became a media figure, sharp, witty, and occasionally brash, traits that endeared him to some and irked traditionalists. He cultivated relationships with broadcasters, spoke admirably of his team, and held his drivers accountable. Off track, he married former F1 grid girl Geri Halliwell in 2015. The two became a high-profile couple in motorsport and showbiz circles. Horner embraced exposure, using his public persona to promote Red Bull culture while maintaining an intensity behind the scenes focused on performance and progress. But with prominence comes scrutiny. Behind Red Bull's rise, whispers grew. Accusations of favoritism, intense pressure on younger staffers, an internal culture of silence around complaints. Horner's dedication to winning was absolute, and for some, a red flag. When a female employee alleged inappropriate behavior and being mistreated within the team framework, it triggered an internal investigation and intense debate over workplace dynamics in high-pressure sports. Horner denied wrongdoing and emphasized his respect for staff and personal integrity. Yet the situation escalated, culminating in his removal from the role in mid-2025. He leaves Red Bull not just as a champion, but as a man facing career-threatening allegations. To fully appreciate both the man and the impact of this moment, we must consider the journey. Horner was never a driver in F1, yet he became a central figure in its modern history. He brought Red Bull from midfield underdog to league leader in less than 5 years, a feat that reshaped motorsport economics, engineering norms, and driver development models. His insistence on integrating raw talent with elite engineers, on making unconventional calls during races, and on hiring and trusting young personnel has been imitated across the paddock. He faced intense rivalries, fight with Ron Dennis's McLaren, strategic battles with Mercedes, the ongoing thrill of Red Bull versus Ferrari. He was the face of Red Bull in times of glory and of controversy, the man who maintained team spirit as engines roared and mud flew. Colleagues remember his confidence, nervous energy, and ability to hold Hampton Court during pressing times. Journalists noted his sharp mind and willingness to defend his principles, even at his own professional peril. And now in mid-2025, that dominance is marred. The allegations carry weight, not because he's been proven guilty, but because they raise questions about culture, power, and accountability in elite sport. Female staffers at teams like Lotus, Williams, and even the FIA have come forward saying the incident prompted them to examine their own conditions. Horner's departure is bittersweet. Yes, it ends a historic run, but it also signals a watershed moment in F1. The recognition that commercial success cannot be separated from ethical leadership. Christian Horner's next steps are uncertain. He will remain at Red Bull until October 2025 under a non-compete agreement. Insiders suggest he's considering consultancy, media commentary, or even writing a memoir. Others speculate a comeback, perhaps with another team looking for decisive leadership. Yet anyone hiring Horner must weigh both his talent and the turbulence he brings. His legacy is thus split. Christian Horner, the Titan, director of 8 Constructors' Championships, shaped by steely ambition and youthful daring. And Christian Horner, the accused, whose removal spotlights the demands of modern workplaces in F1. Whether time proves him innocent or not, he has already left a mark, one that transcends trophies, engines, and flashbulbs. Deep inside F1's DNA, indelible changes made under his watch remain. In the end, his story is not just about speed and trophies, but about accountability, leadership, and the cost of power in the world's fastest sport.